Hello and welcome to Blytheway Business News. For this edition, we're joined by the team from Pantheon Resources. That's Chief Executive Jay Cheatham and Technical Director Bob Rosenthal. Pantheon is listed on the AIM market in London, although it's operating in North America. It has a market capitalization of 188 million, and I'm sure we're going to talk about that in this edition, and has the ticker of PANR. PANR. Guys, welcome back on the program. You've just this week had a major announcement. Jay, give us a quick recap, please, of what you've been putting into the market.
Yeah, well, Tim, Monday we announced that in our basin floor fan complex, we have 12.1 billion barrels of oil in place and 1.4 billion barrels recoverable. We believe that those can be classified as contingent resource, and we've since, as a result, renamed that project as Theta West because the basin floor fan complex comprises more than just our Talitha unit. It moves to the west and to the northwest.
So this is a new area for you. I mean, viewers of Blytheway Business News will have been watching you and listening to you talk recently about the North Slope oil fields. How does this compare? How does the basin floor compare to the other fields you have?
Well, it dwarfs everything else that we have, Tim. And by comparison to other fields on the North Slope of Alaska, the original oil in place estimate for Prudhoe Bay back in the late 60s was 10 billion barrels of oil in place, 3 billion barrels recoverable, and now it is going to recover more than 15 billion barrels, or more than the original oil in place estimate. I think that our Theta West project has the potential to grow, maybe not quite as much as Prudhoe Bay did, which is more than 5 times on recovery, but certainly it has the potential to grow given the inputs we use, which were reasonably conservative.
Well, I'm a layman at this game, but to my ears, this sounds like an enormous discovery. If it is enormous, I've got to ask you this question. Your share price has come off this week. I mean, what's been driving the share price down when you've got a discovery this size?
Tim, I have no idea. I can't correlate what we have done with what the stock market has done, and it's the stock market. You know, if people generally think that this is a sell, somebody else will buy. It's a good buy for those who understand it. We're going to go on a U.S. roadshow in June, and our announcement of 1.4 billion barrels in place puts our market cap at just really pennies on the barrel in the ground, really.
Pennies on the barrel in the ground. There you have it, guys. Thanks, Jay. Bob, can I come to you for some of the more technical aspects of this, please? The resource estimates for the BFF looks just one horizon for the Talitha project. Looking at your whole portfolio of assets, how many barrels do you think you're sitting on?
Well, I mean, as Jay said, Theta West is 1.4 billion barrel, we believe, contingent resource. That's world class. Anywhere in the world, offshore, onshore, deep water, wherever you want to be. So the rest of the portfolio, we're looking at hundreds of millions of barrels in the shelf margin deltaic. We announced around 300. We've got hundreds of millions of barrels in the Kuparic. We've talked about around 300 million. We've got hundreds of millions of barrels in the slope fan system, which again, we haven't given a full estimate on that. We've got New Horizon that we've intersected. What people have to remember is that in our analysis, over 3,700 feet of oil was sampled in every single cutting over that 3,700 feet. Any place we had porosity we were seeing oil.
Okay.
So, I mean, this is an enormous resource.
So, right. Pantheon is there sitting on billions of barrels of oil. Now, you've hinted that the Theta West project has got a lot of potential. How is that going to feed into your future drilling plans?
Well, first, where we drilled Theta West was 1,500 feet down dip from the crest of the structure. Anybody with any knowledge of oil and gas would have said, that's crazy, right? We can go 1,500 feet up dip 10 miles away to the crest of the structure, intersect twice as much a section that we've intersected at Theta West with better porosity and permeability. That's where we're going to go. If we had our druthers and we had infinite amount of money, we would have gone out and drilled the crestal location first. But we tested this at a down dip location, so we've significantly de-risked this. So that's just one item on our drilling. Second, we're gonna try to drill a well at Alkaid, and third, we're gonna test Talitha. So we can get all that done over the next year.
I mean, sitting where you are now, you look a very attractive proposition for a farm out deal. Has the company had any approaches, any interest?
Well, first of all, this year is completely different than last year. Remember, there was a thing called COVID. A year ago, the price of oil dropped to minus. People were selling. Having people to pay people to take their oil. Today, the price of oil on the North Slope is $68, $70 a barrel. It's not COVID. We have drilled the well. We have found the hydrocarbons. And we still have 100% of the project. A company the size of Pantheon at this point in time in the life cycle of a project, would be lucky to be sitting on 20% of all this. So we're going to be attractive to a lot of people.
And just give me a quick overview of the balance sheet. Any debt on the balance sheet, Bob?
None.
Debt-free?
Debt-free.
Okay. One more question, Bob, before I go back to Jay. You've told us a little bit about the drilling program. What other news can we expect coming out of Pantheon in the next few months?
We've got multiple targets that we have to analyze, and we have to reanalyze all the data for the shelf margin deltaic. Each one of these we expect a resource upgrade on. So that will be coming out over the next several months.
So Jay, let me come back to you. As we've heard, the company is sitting on billions of barrels of oil. You've got no debt on the balance sheet. Other than the share price, you're in a very strong position. You should be sleeping like a baby. But come on, tell me, what is it that keeps you awake at night?
Obviously, Tim, I think we're a takeover target. It appears that the market really doesn't understand how to value the assets that we have. Industry does. And at a $270 million valuation, it's a gift.
Thanks, Jay. Thanks, Bob. You heard it here. Pantheon, it's a gift. That was Jay Cheatham and Bob Rosenthal of Pantheon Resources, listed on the AIM market in London, updating us on this week's news. That's it from Blytheway Business News for today. Thanks for watching.